Welcome, Marine Zone 6, with a look at the garden, the beginning of June. Here's some friendly garden advice. Once you're done working in the garden for the day, try to focus on what you've accomplished and not on what you have not. Starting on the back deck, my Easy Way petunias are filling in well. I got these other ones not too long ago to echo the ones to the left, and they provide kind of like some repetition on both sides of the deck steps. I've changed this one out and put a blue vein supertunia in. There was a silverberry supertunia, but I found a different spot for that one. So I renovated, so to speak. This one still has a silverberry in it, along with lamium from the garden, either my yard or my mom's, which is a great filler. I have this container here, which I don't have a really official designated spot for it, but I put it together and I'll see how it does. It has some purple and white verbena, blue vein supertunia, lamium, as well as some white alyssum. I grew from, winter sowing actually, so I just put that in not that long ago, so I have to see how it does. As well as on this side, which isn't quite flowering yet, Bordeaux. This container on the deck has Bordeaux supertunia, sparkling amethyst verbena, snowdrift supertunia. And so that combo, I think, will fill in nicely. Over here, I have verbena as well as calibrachoa, which I'm not sure the names of those, but I tell you this, I'm loving white verbena. On the back table, I still have some purple pansies along with a big leaf green and white begonia, which should get huge. And of course, my beloved Autumn Joy sedum. In these two containers flanking either side of the back steps, I've added potato vine. So hopefully that potato vine will soften the edge of those containers as it flows, as it grows. Coming down the back steps, my allium are past their peak and starting to decline. There's the Autumn Joy sedum, as well as the white beacon and patience between those daffodils, which should fill in and mound. And I have a repetition of Autumn Joy sedum in this bed. And kind of a specimen plant, this peony, which I believe is sorbet. I planted from bare root years ago, probably about 3 years ago, which should be blooming soon. How exciting. And for some evergreen inches, I have those, I think they're called hets, midget arborvitae behind, and 2 Annabelles I planted, I believe it was in December. So exciting. Over yonder to the left, heading south, I have my 2 sublime hydrangeas, which are recent additions over here. I think I put these in over here this year. And below, top hat begonias, which should get big, along with Imara impatiens, which I had last year, and they were just beautiful. I just put those in not that long ago, so they're tiny, but they should get big. Over on the table I built years ago, there are some more big green and white leaf begonias, as well as some mini hostas I put in as fillers. This weed bush, whatever it is, that was cut down, I used my reciprocating sow last year. I'm letting it grow back, but I'm trying to train it into a pleasant shape and keep it low and contained. I'll see how it goes. Inside the shed I built years ago, the August moon hostas are looking good. And there's that rose I put for a surprise. If anyone comes back here who's not familiar, a pleasant surprise of a rose. Down below are my Chianti sunflowers, which I grew last year, and they are gorgeous. So they're coming up. So across from that table and faux shed I built years ago, I have these crocus roses, which should be blooming soon. David Austin. So exciting. They're two here together. And down below, you'll see some of the seed petunias, not petunias, what are they called? Ageratum, I grew from seed indoors. That's planted there. The rest should be blooming soon enough. And back behind, I don't know if you can see it because the firelight leaves are kind of in the way, are 3 bloom-struck hydrangeas. And I see plenty of buzz on at least 2 of them. So exciting. There's that firelight hydrangea. This is Litchfield Angel, David Austin. Lovely buds. I moved that over here the end of last year. And here is Sophie's Rose, David Austin. Look at those leaves. Wow. I have some canna here I grew from seed. You just sand the seed, pop it in some water. When you see some growth, plant it in the soil and watch it grow. A peony, which should be blooming soon. And my lovely bleeding heart, mixed in with bishop's weed. Oh boy. If anyone is interested in the name of these Easy Wave petunias, it is Easy Wave Rose Fusion. Now, headed toward the back of the garden, there is a snowdrift supertunia. I think that's Summerific Evening Rose Hibiscus, which is emerging. There are my tulips. I'm leaving them to absorb some sunlight. And my little quick fire. Here's another one of those wave petunias I put down here to kind of bring that color and that look of that wave petunia down here for some cohesiveness, repetition. Walker's Low starting to bloom. And penstemon. I love that burgundy because when a garden is all green, sometimes it can look flat. But if you put burgundy into it, it can cut the green and add some depth and interest. Back yonder are some coleus I grew from seed in my home, along with some runoff dirt from rain. And by the mirror, this is one of my new dawns in the Rose Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. Look at those buds. Ooh-wee. Down below is is it Limelight Punch? Beacon and Patience White for repetition. Green and white hosta, that white variegation also provides a pop in the garden to help cut the green. Bobo hydrangea, panicle hydrangea. This, I believe, is 2 of the sorbet peonies I planted from bare root about 3 years ago. Look at that bud. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. Just fabulous. Boo. More penstemon for repetition. There is that Gatsby Star Oak Leaf Hydrangea my mother gave me. Thank you. Another green and white variegated hosta I put in this year. Repetition. And Beacon and Patience. Here is August Moon Hosta. And this tolerates a bit of sun too, this hosta. August Moon Hosta. And there is Brunera, commonly known as Brunera. And here is one of the foxglove. I either sold it in the house about 2 years ago, I believe, or winter sowing. Look at that. And now it's blooming this year. So exciting. Firelight hydrangea. These are Golden Globe arborvitaes on either side on the way back to the hidden garden. And here is my beloved Gatsby Pink Oak Leaf Hydrangea. And we've had some cool weather, so the burgundy I would normally see around fall is starting to come on some of the leaves. Just a gorgeous, beautiful, fantastic plant. Across in this other flower bed, penstemon for repetition, of course, and there's that Sum and Substance hosta and my favorite hosta ever, Paul's Glory hosta in the back. There's 2 quick fires and a firelight in the middle. And look, the quick fires already have buds. They have buds the same time as a smooth hydrangea. In my experience, this is the one panicle hydrangea I have that I know blooms early and does great in part shade. It blooms right with the smooth hydrangeas, at least some of them. So exciting. Back headed to the hidden garden, there's another Sum and Substance, getting huge. A sublime hydrangea, just planted recently, I think this year. Another bleeding heart. And I dotted some beacon and patience back here in the hidden garden. So I'm excited about that. Hope the groundhog doesn't eat the blooms. And look at this heuchera. I think it's called spearmint. There's another one in the hidden garden. Look at that. Oh, is that beautiful? The contrast with the Sum and Substance behind. There's an Annabelle hydrangea. That's a quick fire fab. It didn't bloom last year. It's gotten shady back here, but I like the foliage. And another Gatsby pink oak leaf hydrangea. And on either side of the hidden garden on your way in, there is anise hyssop, which has a wonderful smell, kind of like licorice. And it should get taller and fuller and get these purple blooms and kind of look like an entryway headed into the hidden garden. Mm-hmm. Look at this peony just about to open. Oh, this is one I rehabbed. It was sad and pitiful a couple years ago. And I babied it, and it's rewarded me. Here are new gin boxwoods I put in the end of last year on clearance. I think they were on clearance about $8.50 each. Yippee! And they are just beautiful. Love it. And behind, of course, are the Golden Globe arborvitae. Here I'm at the entrance to the back garden, which is the west garden. And I have my conical arborvitae, these huge conical ones I've had over here in containers probably about 8 years. Arborvitaes do excellent in containers. Down below, I've made a change. I took out the silverberry that was in this container and used it elsewhere and put in a Bordeaux, which that purple echoes the purple theme I have going on headed toward the back. Behind it is a iceberg rose with buds. It's got a little black spot, so I put neem oil on it. And that's also in the Rose Hall of Fame, the iceberg. And it will just bloom and bloom and bloom into a really hard cold. August 1 hosta again. There's my panicle phlox. And in this container, this is a container where I wanted to raise it because I had some furry bandit eating some of my blooms in the garden. So I wanted to raise it. So I took a container the same size, flipped it upside down, put this one on top, and raised it up. And so in this container, I have Tiara Blue Supertunia, Diamond Frost Euphorbia, I think it's called Hawaii Blue Ageratum, and Super Bell's Blue Moon Punch. Behind, that's that's Autumn Joy Sedum, my favorite sedum. Down below is some ageratum I grew from seed. Hopefully they get blooms. You see here these 2 round arborvitaes are once again Golden Globe arborvitaes. And here is my little quick fire, which I think I see at least a few buds. So exciting. I bought that dormant. So basically it was just brown sticks when I got it. And look at it now. Don't be afraid. Buy dormant plants. It's okay. Annabelle. More August Moon Hosta. That's my Delarice Rose. Another container, repetition. Same pattern. And this is the gorgeous, fantastic Clematis or Clematis Ville de Lyon. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Superb. And it blooms more than once. Another August Moon Hosta, of course. And another New Dawn Rose. And the key with your climbing roses is to get those canes at horizontal to 45 degrees. And those areas where it's horizontal to 45 degrees, laterals will shoot off, and that's where you'll have blooms. So the more area you have at 45 to horizontal, the more blooms you will have. Another little quick fire for repetition. Back here, I've made a change. I've added a Blue Moon, is it Blue Moon Punch Super Bells to that container with that arborvitae, topiary arborvitae, as well as a Bordeaux to this container. So that kind of flushes out or makes more of a purple presence in this area. Yes, lovely. Over this way, I have, that's a Limelight Prime, some peonies, sublime, smooth hydrangea, some beacon white impatiens, repetition, which should fill in. And look at this peony. Oh my goodness, I don't know the name of it. I got it probably about, now that I think about it, maybe about 10 years ago. It's an electric pink, and it's not a flopper. Oh, it is just so gorgeous. Love it. Another peony. The oldest quick fire in my garden. And look at those buds. Oh, just beautiful. This path leads back to a climbing hydrangea I put in, so hopefully that will do well and go up that wall. And over on this side are my two endless summers. And look at all of these buds, full of buds. We didn't have one of those late frosts, which can kill your tender buds and cause you to lose your blooms. So exciting. But within the summer, it has a remontancy to it. So even if that happens, there'll be later blooms that come from new growth at the bottom. So exciting. Mm-hmm. In the north garden, another new dawn. And the bishop's weed has started to bloom. I have a love-hate relationship with bishop's weed. It's beautiful, but so aggressive. Another new dawn. And autumn joy sedum in a container on a beautiful stand my mother gave me. And below, Brunera Alexander the Great, Brunera. Here in the east garden, which is the front garden, I have my jazzberry Petunias, which should get around 2 feet wide. And in this container, I made a change. This is where a couple of the silverberries went to, into this front container, as well as the other one on the other side. I have jazzberry, which was already there. I added in the silverberry. I already had the diamond frost euphorbia, and I also added pink cashmere verbena in both containers. I think that looks good. And behind is I think it's called Ivy League, Orchid Ivy League. Not sure. Don't quote me. This, I believe, is Cat's Meow, which is blooming, and my main night has started to bloom. There's an Annabelle behind there. Snowdrift Supertunia and Millennium Allium. Gorgeous. On either side of the steps, I have jazzberry, which should fill in and overflow the steps, creating a welcoming appeal. And once again, the bishop's weed has started to bloom. Beautiful, yet annoying. Oh boy. And look at this Sally Holmes rose. We've had some cool nights, which with the Sally Holmes can make the blooms more of a pinkish color rather than white. But as it heats up, I'll get some clusters of white blooms. In the Rose Hall of Fame, notice a pattern. Down below, a gorgeous peony. And this one, which is buttered up, is Festiva Maxima. Here are two Incredibles, flanking the shrubs, flowering shrubs. Well, they're not flowering yet, but the shrubs flanking the front door, that large one to the right, and the large one in front of the bay window. Those are my limelights, which should be blooming probably sometime in July. And more May night. Look at this Walker's Low. It is gorgeous. It didn't bloom like this when I had it in the backyard. I still have it in the backyard. It seems like with all this east sun, it's got so many blooms and it's so vibrant. The color seems more vibrant. And there's bishop's weed blooming in between here and there, which is lovely, I must admit. Down below, Snowdrift Supertunia, May night. Hey, Bumblebee. More snowdrift for repetition. I'm telling you, this Walker's Low is just gorgeous. There is an Incredible. That's just one. And look at this bearded iris. It's just beautiful. I don't know the name of it, but it is gorgeous. What is that? You lose track after a while. It's a pink chiffon, Rosa Sharon. I got it now. It's looking good. In the south garden, I have my Sally Holmes in a shrub form. It can go as a climber or a shrub. And it will be in its full glory soon. Look at those clusters. Oh my goodness. It's in the Rose Hall of Fame for a good reason. And there's a limelight. Thanks for watching.